Okay, so cheers, by the way. It's freaking Cinco de Mayo and I'm having an energy drink.
Celsius. Cheers. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I don't know why this isn't a margarita, but I'll have a margarita later. Can I tell
Same.
you about those Celsius? They give me an immense amount of energy, like to the point where I start to pace back and forth. That doesn't do that to you?
Well, here's the thing. I'm new to the Celsius game. I'm using it as a weapon because lately I've had like an appetite and I'm like not okay with it because I've been avoiding, excuse me, I've been avoiding food. Like I have tricks and I was going to ask you about your routine because you've always been fit and mine because mine is like off and on throughout my life.
Okay.
So the Celsius, like I know it's kind of like a newer version of Red Bull, so it's probably trash for our bodies, right?
Honestly, it makes me like it makes my heart beat so fast. I can't I couldn't sleep the night. I was like I didn't realize what it was when I first drank it. I was like, what is this? They had them at my store at Envy. I guess somebody sent some to Envy. So the girls were drinking them and I drank one. I started texting my store manager that night. I'm like, "Are you like feel like you're tripping?" She's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
It gave me like an immense amount of energy, which I guess is good for some people. But I'm that girl who, like, if I have a cup of coffee after 3 p.m., it's on. Like, I am not going to bed that night. I like look at the sky until 1 o'clock in the morning. So I can't drink those kinds of things unless it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
So yeah, so right now it's 1 in the afternoon, and I'm having this because like at Shams's birthday, he just turned 4. I was not drinking because Tommy was like, "Oh, wait until all your friends," because I have a lot of friends from Brooklyn that were in that weekend, and he was like, "Let's see if you turn into this like messy bitch once they get into town, because I know you drink a lot when they come." And I was like, calm down. No, it doesn't have to be like that. In fact, if you want me to like just not drink, just to show you and like prove it to you. And he was like, yeah, the reason why wasn't random. The reason why he said don't drink is because in the month of like January, there was like Super Bowl, and like then there was like a couple other parties that he said, you take it out on me. Like you're nice to everybody when you get tipsy, but then you become a monster toward me. And he's like, I don't deserve that. I was like, "Ugh,
Uh,
that's not good. Like, obviously, that's not good, so
well, I feel like alcohol affects everyone differently, right? Like some people, it does make you rage a little bit. It brings out like the worst, or like, I don't know, for some reason, alcohol for me has been like a happy pill. It's almost like swallowing a happy pill. You almost like you can't piss me off when I'm drunk, which is a good thing, but it's so weird. Like I've had producers like not want to hand me alcohol because it has the absolute exact like different effect that they would want it to have, which would be like sloppy and speak your mind. I'm like, you could slap me, but I love you. Like, and I
that's
just want
like
to touch your
Jeff.
boobs.
That's
Like,
like Jeff Lewis. He's like a very affectionate drunk. When he gets tipsy, he'll be like, I love you so much. And I'm
I
like,
know.
so for me, what it does is it makes me feel a little um sassy, but like a kind of sassy that I think on my day to day, I'm too serious. Like I feel
Right.
like I'm a little bit too uptight for like the MJ that I want to be. And then when I have like a little white wine, then I would feel like I would turn into this like fun person. But Tommy, because he's not much of a drinker, then like when he drinks, he'll get drunk fast. And it's usually just like with family at like the holidays. And then I've got like a big drunk mush on my hands with him, you know? But like with
He's a
my
big chocolate.
girlfriends, yeah, but like with my girlfriends, I just want to like loosen up and just talk. But like I love that, like, because the real you's coming out, and like the real you's like sweet and wants to love on people, and that says a lot, in my
I
opinion.
do. I mean, I probably like say stupid things too. And like, I'm very affectionate. Everyone, all the women say like I start grabbing their butts and their boobs because I like butts. I do. I like big butts. I like to squeeze them. So but you know what? I would say Joe and I drink more like on the regular, if I'm being honest. Like it doesn't affect us like that. We're just like, we're going to dinner, we have a drink. we're home at Sunday, pour the wine. Like we are like daily, like we're more of like, I don't know, like it doesn't affect us. We always have a couple drinks, like in our, if we're just home on during the week, obviously, but like if we're home on a Sunday, we're definitely cracking open a bottle of wine for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what Sundays are
Yeah.
all about. I mean,
Yeah.
Tommy said, that's the thing with us right now is I used to enjoy drinking with you. For now, I can't. If you show me that you'll be cool with me, I'm like, all right, let me just dry out for a little while, but not officially. Just like also when I was drinking, it was a lot of calories. I don't want that.
It is a lot of calories. It
Yeah.
is. Yes. But see, I choose a lot of times to drink my calories. So it's like if we go out to dinner, instead of having the dessert, I want one more glass of wine. Like that's
Sure.
what, and I always say that too. I'm like, no, the wine's my dessert. Thank you. And I'll pick. So going back to what you're saying about eating habits and stuff, like I never say no if we're out to dinner. I just don't order a dessert for myself. I always ask everybody, like, what do you guys want to, what are we going to do? And I take like 3 bites and I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, portion control, right? Like,
Yes, huge for me.
yeah, I would rather, so about, I would say my whole life, I've been happy, but always on the thicker side, right? But then at the point I got married on my wedding day, I was pretty happy with my body. Like, it's always on the thick side. Like, you know how like sometimes you're just attracted to a thicker version, or you're not spending enough time like I'm not like a volleyball player on the beach that needs to like really worry or scrutinize my body. But when I did the IVF meds, that's when I actually packed on some weight, and then I stayed home with the baby for a long time. And I ended up like eating and being at home and being with a newborn. And that was,
Do
and
you
then,
know a lot of women gain weight at that point when they're home? It's honestly, I've seen it, you can go one way or the other. Some of them get so thin because I don't know why. Like for me, I was the thinnest I ever was after I had Antonia, like for that year. I don't know why. I guess because it was like, I don't know, the college drinking I did because I got married so young. I don't know what it was, but I was the thinnest I ever was after Antonia. But a lot of girls, you can go either way because you're home, you're eating their leftovers. If they don't eat the mac and cheese, you're throwing it in your mouth, right? Like that's what happens. And you can't, there's no babysitters half the time. It's like you got to go to the gym. You don't want to leave the baby. You don't want to put the baby in daycare. Your mother can't come over, like whatever it is. So you're just like, screw it. I'm just going to sit home, play on the floor with this kid all day and eat. And that's
yeah,
what happens.
that's what happened.
Yeah.
I had mine 6 months before COVID began, and therefore then it's the whole thing of not being in jeans, not being around other people that'll make you kind of check yourself. So I just wanted to say formally, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so
um,
happy you came on mine, and I loved when you came on, and so I said I need to come and talk to you next.
I know. I mean, I saw like well, first of all, with our podcast, Tommy and I, this is the first time that I'm doing it without Tommy. And because
Oh,
it's a him and me show. But he was like, no, go have your girly time and you guys can talk. And he's like, we've never done a Zoom before. So this is like a couple of good firsts. So I just wanted to like, even though we jump right in, and that's a thing, like my husband is from Queens. I've always felt like very connected. I feel like a lot of people probably like feel the warmth from you guys, like it's a culture. You know what I mean? Like we
yes.
like so for anybody that is listening, you and I have probably been like passing each other in the Bravo world for like 12 years or so.
Yeah.
But like the first time that we actually really connected is the last BravoCon.
I
The
would say yes, because I feel like I didn't really know you as much. Like I always knew you, right? But I didn't connect with you, right, as much as the first one. Or you said we like passed each other and we didn't really speak. I don't remember. Did we? I don't.
No, as far as I know, I never really saw you in except for one time, which was not even a BravoCon. It was back in the day when we were at a Bravo like thing. It was for the advertisers. It was like a
Oh, the upfronts. It was probably the upfront. I
yeah.
wish they would bring those back, by the way. I loved those. They were so fun. That
Yeah.
that was like, I don't know if it's because I was more new to TV then that I thought that was fun, because now I would look at it probably like work. But
No,
then I thought they were so much fun because we got to see all the other, like see all you guys and see all the other Bravo celebrities and do the red carpet and get dressed up. And I was like, this is so great. And now I probably would look at it like, oof, day of work, right?
no,
It's
I
like,
think no, we were also sad when it stopped happening, but like that was the one, like however long years ago it was the first time I ever saw Nene Leakes. She was so much taller than me. Like I came up to
I
her
know.
and there was like this big carpet that went like for a mile in like
Yeah, yeah.
and then you and me and Joe and like 10 plus other people were in an elevator. So we were like this in an elevator. So that was literally, to my memory, the only time I ever saw you, other
Oh
than
my God.
that. So
Yeah, and it's weird. We connect now, and I totally love you. I mean, I always loved you, but I love you. Like, I just feel like you're really a girl's girl. Like, even a little bit we just talk on Instagram or whatever it is. I just like you're a girl's girl, and I like you.
cute.
Oh,
It was funny because the thing I was trying to do was at last BravoCon when Anthony Lella threw us together in a squash that beef on
my
stage.
God, I can't.
Reza was like, you were trying to throw me under the bus because he was just talking shit on a carpet about Sutton and her cat sweater. And so Andy, we were like, you and me were on a stage, and this is just for the people listening. We're on that stage. Everyone probably already knows about this. And that was out of the furthest thing from my imagination that it was a squash that beef between you and I. I'm thankful for it because here we are. Long
Because
story.
now, yes, it ended up like making us connect. And I'm not really like a beefer. I feel like I'm not one of the beefers on the show, right? Like I'm there for other reasons. I do other things. So I was like, me? When the friggin' circle came out, and I didn't even know anything you've ever said. I was like thinking in my brain, what did I say about her? What did I say about her? What did I do? What did I say? Like I was like, how you just start to like scramble.
Yeah.
So I was glad it was you who said something and not me.
No, I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? But it was good. It was good. It was, I don't even know, like, didn't even matter. I was just like, I don't think that's right, but I'm happy to be here and let's,
It was fun. It was a innocent squash that beef. I thought there was other ones that were much worse. Ours was kind of like a fun one. So
yeah, for sure. So now we have another BravoCon coming up in Vegas.
yes.
It's not officially announced who's coming, so we'll just wait until it's officially announced, but hopefully we'll see each other again. Um
For
just
sure.
just being very clear that we are not breaking any rules with our bosses and we love and respect the rules, right?
The Bravo world.
Um
Wait,
but
with that being said, do
yeah,
you think there's anyone, so he does squash that beef every single time, right? Have you said anything recently up that you think they would call you up for right now? Like you think they might call you up to squash?
Sandoval, Raquel, I mean,
Oh. Well,
those
the
are
whole world's gonna have to get on the stage with Raquel. So
yeah, I mean, I've never really been a person that you know what? A long time ago, I said something about Rinna, and she came up to me at the first BravoCon, and she's like, "I thought you liked me. I thought we were cool." And I was like, all that I said was that I thought it was like one thing that you did and one thing to LVP that was really mean. And like it ended up being part of like a gang up on LVP. So like, but other than that, like I've always taken pride in being a Bravoholic slash Bravo celebrity, right? Like I always talked about the shows passionately, but I never like I think you have to be kind of in a low place in life to say something negative about another person. Opinion, sure, when it's overt,
right,
you know, like
right.
like the Sandoval and Raquel. Like I did just watch the Raquel episode. Did you see most recent
Wait,
episode?
I know. I have to watch it. I basically you don't even have to watch it anymore because Instagram, like if you miss a show, you're good. Because Instagram will give you like the three highlights and everybody's comments on it. And it's like all the other stuff in these shows are fluff, right? So there's always like three main parts and they're all over Instagram. So if you want to just watch Instagram the next day and catch up, you totally can. It's insanity. What I
Yeah,
also think is insanity is their ratings. Oh my God. Like they're killing it.
yeah.
They really are. They're killing it.
I think if I was Bravo, I would be pissed about how much goes on Instagram because sometimes I don't need to watch the show because I see it immediately on Instagram. Like I don't watch it the same night, but as soon as I get home, everyone on the East Coast is all the bloggers have already put it up there.
Yes. You know, I always think about that with you guys out there on the West Coast. I'm
Uh-huh.
always like, they see everything, they see all the opinions. Page six already wrote what they wrote. Like, you guys always get like this second hand where you have to kind of ignore Instagram type thing,
But
right?
it's not like a game. It's not like a baseball game or like a sports game that we're like trying to find like don't like my husband will be like, don't tell me the Mets score. I don't want to hear it. La 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 la.
Right, right,
I'm,
right.
you know, the person who wins what we watch is my son. So I'm watching like, Fancy Nancy and, like
Fancy, fancy.
basic, yeah, basic. He actually has a girly taste in TV shows, and Tommy's like, why do you let him watch, Sparkle and Shimmer and Shine? And I'm like, he's
Because
my,
they like the bright colors. Do you know
yeah.
I used to have like back in the day, it was, I don't know, you guys all watch that little, who's that woman now that sings the ABCs, the one that's so famous? I don't
Oh,
know. She was all
I
the little
don't,
kids.
I don't know.
Back in the day, it was Nickelodeon for us, like when my kids were growing up, and we would just put like the Nick Jr. on, and like it would go from five different cartoons of like the little songs, and I could sing you every single one of them. I knew every episode. It was like I remember going through those baby years where it's like toddlers and babies, and you just keep the TV on 24 hours a day, and it's like always in the background, all
Yeah.
these little like shows and like oh my God, I used to sing all the intros to like Dora, 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 the Explorer. Like, I knew
Yeah.
them all. And then the next one will pop up. And then it was like Bubble Guppies. I don't remember. It was all these things that I was like into all of these shows.
It's funny because I was like I was thinking about when we're going to talk today, and I was like, okay, so Melissa's been in the trenches. You've been in all of the stages of motherhood. I've only known what I know now, which is up until he just turned 4. So
Right.
in the last couple of years, like I've been, thank God, home with him. Now he's starting to end, like now he's going to start kindergarten in a couple of years. So now
Right.
he's able to like turn a page. So I was going to say, like, when you're at your stage, how much, like, do you feel happy that you have other things to focus on since your kids are not in that infant crawling thing? Like, do you think like you would need to have something else, or could being like full-time mom also be fulfilling for you?
Right now, no, I would need more because my kids are older and independent. Like right now, there's maybe just one flying around this house somewhere. The
Yeah.
other one's like at his friends. The other one's going to a sweet 16 tonight, picking their outfit. The other one has lacrosse in a little while. Like they're at school all day long and then they have like an agenda when they get home. So no, the thing with me is I kind of experienced all stages of life with them because even when they were babies and toddlers, don't forget Joey's christening, he was 2 months old,
Yeah.
that episode, right? So I basically raised them on TV. And now that they're older, and when I say on TV, meaning like I was busy, right? Like I was working. And so now I'm still like, I couldn't imagine just being a stay-at-home mom right now because they're never home. It's like I'm watching my dog Nico on the couch right now.
Oh,
So it's like,
yeah. Because also you got married very young. Like
yes,
you
yes,
got married
25.
and you started your family. I mean, when I was 25, I was more than 10 years away from being married. So I had
Right.
I was living alone in my own apartment. Even when I lived in my, at home, I was close to my parents. Like, first you live with your parents, but did you have this phase where you had your own place between marriage and like living at home? Barely?
Yes. Yes. I moved out on my own at, oh God, I was pretty young. I was like 20.
Yeah.
And I like right after college, and like not after college, like during college, I lived on my own and I had roommates and paid rent with roommates.
Mhm.
And then when I met Joe, I was living on my own. So I've always worked like 3 jobs and did my own thing. So I was like in party mode. Like I would say from 19 to 24, I was in the clubs. I was in like the limelight. I was in New York City, like walking out of the club at 4 a.m. or walking in sometimes. Like I was that girl that I was always out, but I worked 3 jobs. So by the time I had met Joe, I was like ready to, he was such a family guy. He just wanted to get married and have babies. And I kind of was like, I was ready to. But it was young. I was young. If I look back at it now, I would tell Antonia, no, you wait till 30. Like I would
Yeah.
say 30 would be a great time to like, not 25. Like you need that 5 more years to like explore. And you don't, thank God I picked a good one. But a lot of times who a girl's picking at 25, right, is
Yeah.
not who she's going to pick when she's 32,
Mhm.
or when, you know what I mean? You might be looking for different things at 25 than you are when you're 32. So I think it's risky picking too young.
Yeah, because you don't know who you are yet. And you
You
don't
don't know
know.
who you are. You don't really know what you like, it's just one of those things. So I mean, I obviously got lucky. Joe was a great guy, and we both, like, I literally got married and I purposely got pregnant 2 months after I got married. Like I got married in August. I was pregnant definitely by like November.
Amazing.
So
That's
yeah.
one thing is that we do have in common in that timeline is I also got pregnant within 4 months of the wedding. So, but like it's really interesting. Like when I look at other people's lives, other women who I admire, and you're obviously one of them, it's because like in the last 3, 4 years, one of the best lessons I've learned for myself is how to be my own best friend, because like we're on lockdown, you're with your kids, your family, you're at home a lot. But I also think about all these things like, what are you going to do? Like, what do you do when you don't get along with your husband? What do you do when you feel isolated because you're busy being a good mother? There's a
Right.
lot of things that you give up when you gain something else. Well, can you were talking about having all the jobs. What was your very first job?
Oh, my very, very first job, I worked on the Seaside Heights Boardwalk at the pizza stand. Yeah, like when you see Snooki walking around the boardwalks, like I worked at one of those stands on the
Oh my God.
boardwalk. I
Amazing.
served pizza and churros.
Okay, my first job was summer of eighth and ninth grade in between, and I was working as a pizza parlor as well.
Mine
Antonia
was
used to
eighth,
take me
eighth
with
grade, summer of eighth and ninth also. Same.
amazing. So what was your like biggest lesson that you learned from your first job, and that whole like your like favorite memory that you kind of look back on?
I always try to remember like the big pretzels. I used to try to sneak them and eat them. Like I would put them down and eat the pretzel, and I would be like, "Is this technically stealing?" I don't know. When you're like eating the pretzel every time you're at work. My favorite, I don't know. I just learned that you needed like the schedule. Like there was things I wanted to do, or if like there was a party that night, like I hated it. Kind of made me grow up because I had to call the guy, the boss, who it used to make me shy. I used to want my mom to do it, to tell him that like I didn't want to go to work that day, or like come up with an excuse why I didn't want to go to work as a 14-year-old girl. Like I
Did
just,
she do it?
like, I
Did
think
your
you
mom call
learn
for
that you
you?
have to like speak up for yourself, right? And like I remember used to be so shy, like not wanting to tell him. I'm like, "Mom, can you call him?" She's like, "Nope." She would
I
never do
love
it.
that. That's great that
Yeah.
she didn't do it, because then
Yes.
now then when you moved in with Joe as a married woman, what was like one of the first things that you found out about him in living with him that you didn't know, like dating and everything? I mean, usually this is like a really cringy thing for me because I keep seeing people say they can't stand like the way their husband chews when they're eating.
Oh my God. Oh my God. If I had to pick one thing, if he were standing here right now, I always, it irks me. And if I'm sitting on the other side of the table, like with couples, and we did like the girls together and the boys together, and I'm watching him talk across the table or talk this way, and his food, and I want to interrupt him and say, excuse me, Joe, swallow that first and then finish your conversation. I swear to God, it drives me insane. I was like, I don't ever remember this about you. Like, I think this is
Exactly.
new. When I see the food in your mouth and you're talking and eating, like, I think it would have bothered me, or maybe I was so freaking young, I didn't
It
even
is.
realize. But
No,
like, I realize it now, you know?
you're like, we must have been in a really loud restaurant, or, like this dining room that we're sitting in at home, it must be a lot more quiet and echoey. It's like, I
Yeah,
feel like,
I'm like, why? That is definitely my biggest pet peeve, like hands down for sure
it
with
must,
Joe.
it must be a thing. I
Yeah, with everybody, but it's like obviously he's gonna irk me more than anyone else is gonna, right?
For sure. Because with like, I for sure think that with Tommy, he was giving me representative 100% when he was still trying to lock it down. I don't think that he kept it real. He tried harder with like my friends, get them to like him, and like
He
just
did.
he would sit with me. I remember I was getting laser hair removal, and I'd be like, I've got an appointment. He would come with me, and he would put the goggles on, and he would sit there and he would watch a game. Now, if my life depended on it,
You
I'm
couldn't get him to come.
nowhere. Yeah. I mean, and I get it. Like, we're clearly very, very busy now. We have a zillion things to do, which is like kind of like what life is now. It's like we're always racing from one thing. And like,
Always.
it's like, yeah. So, like, even with friends, with girlfriends, like, if a friend that is asking me for like lunch plans midweek, I'll be like, are you crazy? Like, who has the luxury to have plans in the middle of a weekday? Like, we're struggling to like be a good mom, be on a good routine, like stay fit, like lunch is very, it's a lot of calories. Or because I'm like, you were talking about drinking your calories, I definitely had no problem just drinking my calories, and wine doesn't make me hungry for food, so like,
Right.
yeah, but it's a lot of,
I live for now, quite the contrary. I live for a during the week lunch with my girlfriends.
well,
Live
that's,
for it.
yeah, because that's what you reward yourself with, right? Like,
That's my reward, like during the week, especially, but you'll see, like when all your kids are in school, you're
Mhm.
gonna want to go to lunch with your girlfriend. And no matter what, we always have like I have a Cosmo or whatever it may be, but like just order the salad, order a salad, even if it's just a salad, it's just to like get out, you know?
I think I'm gonna do that today. One of my girlfriends from Newport is coming. She's gonna drive down. We're gonna have to do something because
Yes.
she's not married. She doesn't have kids. So we have to, obviously we get to do something that's not momish, but
Right.
like that's part of like the whole struggle is like, I am trying so hard to do everything that I just feel like it's a reward that I don't get that often. But it's like at the end of the day, like we still, like you're, like you said, like my kid, my son, he's only in school for 3 hours a day. So
Right.
when he comes back, they want to do everything with you, right?
Of course.
So,
But
but
MJ, you're going to learn like your time, you're going through that stage, right? So you have to, we all put our time in. I put my time in where I couldn't go to lunch, I couldn't get my nails done. You put your time in, right? And then when that phase passes, but are you
yeah.
going to have more? Are you done? Or are you having more kids?
We're okay. Well,
Okay, good.
I always thought that like we need to be in person to like connect, but like yours was good because I don't like to do podcasts at all. Like
You don't do them?
well,
I didn't know that.
I just think it's so,
Tell me.
I don't need the headache of like getting comfortable. What if I say something? Then I have to walk
I
away,
know. I know.
you
I'll be
know.
honest with you. Because I'm on a big podcast company, they kind of push you to do them because it's good, like for you to be like cross promoting, yada, 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 whatever it is. But I'll be honest with you, every time I do one, I say something or, someone asks me something that I wish I didn't answer.
Yeah,
And I'm like, well, what did that do for me? Like, why did I do
exactly.
this? And it's
Exactly.
always just like, why did I even waste my time? I took an hour out of my day. I'm mad
Totally.
at it anyway. Like,
Yep.
and that's, I started to get like that with press, even with Bravo, because, and they know me, like, they don't reach, Bravo does not ask me to do press unless it's like something legit, because I'm like, don't call me with all these little mags and this and that. I don't want to talk to anyone because they twist what I say. The headline is always something that's like I have zero desire to even discuss, but like it's always the dumbest headline I've ever seen. And I'm always like, I wasted my time for 20 minutes talking to that reporter for me to hate the article.
Yeah,
It's like, why do you do my makeup for you?
exactly.
It's like,
Your stomach tells you, because whenever I'm done, my stomach is in knots. I'm like, what the fuck was that for? What did I get out
right,
of this shit? Like, I didn't need this headaches. And so, and
right. You didn't feel like that with mine, did you? Did you
no,
feel like that with mine? Okay,
not at
good,
all. And that's
good.
why, yeah, and I hope that you feel the same way just from our report.
Yes, of course. I know. We're having
But
girl talk. I like it.
the reason why I know that if you take anything that you say or anything that I say and you put it in a print, there's no emotion behind it. Everything sounds evil. Like it just
It
sounds
does.
shady.
It's like the text messages that just come off wrong type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's whatever. And the way people pull headlines or the clips or whatever it is, I'm like, trust me, I do the least amount possible also.
Yeah. It's funny because when I saw what I follow Andy, obviously, Father Andrew Cohen,
Yeah.
and when I saw his IG, he was like, I just went off on Melissa in a way that I've never gone off on anybody, any housewife in my life in the history of time.
Wait, when did he say this?
Right after
The
you guys
reunion?
did the reunion. Yeah, he said it on the air or on his Instagram. Because I'm a big Radio Andy person.
No, I know I saw that, but I don't think he said he went off on me. I don't
No,
think that.
I thought,
No, it wasn't me. It was
oh,
not me.
so he said I went off on somebody else like I've never gone off
Well,
in my whole
he
life.
he had to apologize to Teresa because he screamed at her like he's never screamed at her before. It wasn't me, it was Teresa.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then he proceeded to say that that talking to us, he felt like basically like he felt like he was arguing with toddlers all day. And I have to agree with him. And that also wasn't like I just can't. Reunion is crazy, MJ. It's a different reunion, even for Jersey, that we've never had before. It's crazy.
And
It's weird.
so
There,
I'm caught up. I saw the last episode that aired, and then is your reunion is coming right after this next week?
no, so there's two more episodes and then the reunion. Well,
Okay.
no, there's two more episodes. So there's one more, then there's the finale, then Teresa's wedding episode, and then the reunion.
Okay. So did Teresa, her wedding is in this season?
It's in our season. Yeah, they just kind of tack it on like the week after our finale.
Okay.
It's yeah, it's the
Um,
week after our finale, and then our reunion comes.
do you feel like now that all of that is done, that you're able to say like, okay, I'm done filming, or do you feel like you're still in that headspace that you're like in it still?
I feel like it's because we're still airing, I haven't been able to like chill and clear the slate yet. Once the reunion episodes are done airing, they give us that little break, and then I'll feel like, okay, I get to chill. But right now, I mean, even today, I was on the phone with Bravo PR because, you know, other people's camps try to put out bullshit all day long. And it's like, Bravo has to intervene and tell it, this is not true, guys. Why are you saying this? I mean, this literally just happened right before I spoke to you today. That's why I had to be 10 minutes late. Like, because Bravo has to like kill false stories that like people will even say about me most of the time. And they're just like, where are you getting this from? You know?
Yeah, because when I see things being on both sides of it, I feel like I can sniff that out, like I'll read
It's
something.
you
Yeah,
know exactly where it comes from as soon as it
yeah.
gets put out. Always
There was
on all shows, not just on, like on everybody's show. The second you read it, you're like, well, so and so definitely put that article out, you know?
especially because there was the one that said like your store closed, the one that you just switch locations. And I
Oh
remember
God.
like
The
the way
rumors
that,
about
yeah.
right. The rumors about me lately, MJ, are next freaking level. Like if I told you some of the shit, no, it's actually getting a little weird at this point. Like my daughter just got the car on the show. They're like, it's repossessed. She
Oh,
doesn't have it. What? Like, where does even like broke or repossess? Where does that even like come from when we're actually the oldest we've ever been, the most success, like everything's opposite, right? Of whatever they say. Like, where does that come from? Someone said my child is not Joe's. I,
oh my
I
God.
swear, I don't even like get mad at that because it's so fucking stupid, right? I'm reading like if I even told you like the half of it, my store's closed down, this, that, my store's like thriving better than ever. It just never ends, it's like crazy.
But you could tell because when things, it feels like somebody is going deep in a closet of shit that's not relevant to the present time. And it looks like some bone collector that's digging, and it always comes up as BS because, like if somebody wants to believe something bad about me, they already don't like me and they're just looking for more reasons, right?
I've learned that because I used to want to like argue with these people and be like, what are you saying? And then I'm like, no, 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 no. They want to hate me. So they're trying to find reasons to hate me. So if someone hates you, let them hate you, right? Like let them go. Like go ahead, go on with your bad self. Like don't even try to like change their mind because it's like let them be who they are and it's not worth it. That's what I've learned.
I always love when I see like the Bravo people who go to an island while the end of the season is airing, and I'm like in town dealing with all the shit. Somebody else doesn't even have Wi-Fi. They just had somebody post their picture. They're on a beach, like the Corona bottle ad where it's like just their toes in front of the water. I'm like, that's what I should be motherfucking doing. Like, why am
I
I
know.
here? Why am I here? Why?
Why am I here right now? Like
Well, the truth is, like, the reason why we're home is because when you do have so much of your focus on the show, I mean, I always felt like this, like I'm falling behind on the non-show stuff, because
right.
when you're like running after your production schedule, there's a whole other life that you have to maintain that doesn't, get seen and intended to, like a pile of mail or something that doesn't get.
Right. It's like, and it's funny that you say that too about the bone collector because like that's what I notice. Like any haters of mine, or if they're like tree fans, whatever it might be, they go into the box, they go into Pandora's box and they just start digging. And they're like, look, 17 years ago,
Yeah.
Melissa said, and I'm like, Jesus, it's almost like it's like insanity. And I'm like, does anyone have anything relevant within the last 12 months, possibly 24 months? How about 36 months? Anyone?
No,
Anything? Like,
no, it's got to be old shit that nobody would ever know or verify. Or I mean, that shows you the level of desperation when somebody has
it's
to go that far back and that deep, and then there's no one to fact check because, like, who is gonna, like, the people who've known us the longest are not gonna step up and be like, that's not true, because they're not on the show, they're not, on the payroll. It sucks. It sucks. I mean, that Reza and I went through it a lot, and thank God we're both in such a better place because you just don't want, like, cause like when we were okay, when I first started doing TV, reality TV, it was a lot more like the newlyweds, like Nick and Jessica, and like like the
my favorite.
Osbournes, yeah, like remember like the Osbournes, we were just funny and you were just sitting there and
Yes.
something
Well,
funny
how did
would
this
happen.
drama all start? The funny reality TV was the best,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yes. And
how
we
did we get so drama? I don't know.
that's and then it's yeah, that's the thing. It started to change into all the funny stuff gets cut and the serious, really, really, really serious stuff, like Jen Shaw gets arrested.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a season without a grand jury and federal indictment. Like it's everything gets so much more intense. And then we also get caught up in it because your life kind of turns into the edit that made the air instead of what you really lived. And I really honestly, it's trauma bond, like is it when your mind forgets because you're traumatized. So I myself forget what really happened and I start to believe it the way the show aired it, you know?
Right. You start to wonder. And that's the thing too. Like I used to get mad. I'm like, we had such a long scene and it was so fun. And like that's what you picked to put in. That's the 4 minutes of that you chose. Like it's just baffling to me. But I guess they know what they're doing, right?
Well, that's why we have to be extremely connected with like the people that are our real ride or die. They're really with us. Like Tommy always would ground me if even though he also got really emotionally like destroyed by it. Um,
Right.
but like when you have the people like Brandon Liberati, like I know my guy that does my hair when I'm in my
Yes. Yes.
anyway, my friends that are also like in my life that remember everything, they have like the memory of an elephant, and they'll be like, that's not what happened. This is not what happened, babe. Like, so then I'm like, oh yeah, thank you, thank God, thank God. Like, I'm so grateful for those people, you
I
know?
love that you say that. My hairdressers too, and my makeup artists too, that like
Yeah,
hear and see everything. They remind me because I
yeah,
forget. I
yes.
forget.
You get sucked in. You get
Yes.
sucked in
You
because
get sucked in and like you start to believe a different reality than what it actually even was. Because that happens to me a lot too. And it's weird. It's like the glam people who are always around you or your friend, they remind you. I've had my girlfriend give me some tips. So she was like, no, Melissa, remember you didn't do that, Melissa. Like you did this. And I was like, oh my God, I did. I forgot, you know?
it's crazy. They're like helping you there. It's your sanity helping you remember like, okay, this is who I am. And now we are making TV, but it didn't used to be that way. What we were making used to be a little bit more fun and fact-based. And now it's becoming for like soap opera, but like just the most dramatic, you
For
know?
sure. For sure. For sure. It's a different world. It's a different cell. Like, I don't know. I love the quirky, funny. I could watch that all day long, but that's just me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you were saying how crazy it was with VPR being so crazy with the ratings, but it's
I
because, yeah, it's because of the high level
it's
of,
well, listen, a cheating scandal. Everyone loves a cheating scandal, right? It's like people love it.
and they caught so much of it on um lying in like on camera and
It was crazy how they got it on camera. It's because we knew both personalities. It wasn't like she cheated with some mystery guy or he cheated with some mystery girl. It was a girl that we all knew. So it makes it so intense and so much bigger, you know?
yeah, it was you're gonna watch this when you catch it, whenever you decide to see it, which the
I
best.
heard it was crazy.
Yeah, because Lala was standing in front with Sandoval and Lala, Sandoval, and Ariana. Okay. Lala's like, why'd you tell her that you couldn't get a ride? You were standing right next to the ride. I was standing right there. You chose not to get in the car. And then Ariana's like, you told me you didn't see him leave because you were taking a and he was like, caught, just caught, just caught red-handed. And he just kind of went and shrugged his shoulders. So everyone, I mean, this is,
Like he's caught.
yeah. And that's not even the finale. I mean, anyway,
I
enough.
know. People have such strong opinions on all of this. And I can't believe how, like, listen, I've seen cheating scandals before, right? Like, there's definitely been things. This one is like next level, the way that we're also involved and every move. Like I've never in a million years, and Vanderpump is something that hasn't been on the air, right, for so long. So I was just in shock how like everybody was in, everybody was like all in, and they just came back. Isn't this like their first season back or something?
They had a long break. I don't know how long their break was, to be honest. Like
It
I'm a
was
little bit
long.
of a
It was long.
baby girl.
Everybody went and got pregnant and had babies.
Yeah, and they're still having babies. The oh shit, I forgot I was gonna, I mid thought, I don't know what happened. Um, baby Vanderpump. I don't know. I don't remember. What I know I do wanted to, what I did wanted to say, what I've been some wanted to say,
What did happen?
what I thought had happened was, um, I I do want to come to New York and slash Jersey. I do want to hang out with Joe and you and Tommy and everybody.
I would love that. We would have a nice little kiki.
Yeah, I think it would be fun because I was just one of the things that I just saw was there was a video where like Dolo gives a look, and I just tagged Dolores, and she was, and like all these people came in and were like talking about the look that she had on her face without saying any words. And it was like, whenever I talk to her, she keeps it 100. And when I speak to you, it's like there's so many levels to relate. Like Tommy is Irish Italian, and Dolo's now with this Irish, I don't know what's his name, Brian? What's his name?
Polly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole like just I'm from the East Coast. Nobody remembers that. I don't expect anybody to, because doing a show based on like Beverly Hills. But
I forget that all the time. I
I
don't think I knew.
yeah, 100%. Like it's like, but I do feel like connected to you guys because I picked a guy from Queens. I'm pointing over there because his office is that way, and I can hear his voice right now. Calling us with the son, with my son in the background, also howling for.
So cute. And you got him to move to LA.
He moved to LA about 10 years before I met him, I think, give or take.
Oh, okay. So he didn't move there. He's from Queens, but he didn't move here to live with you.
Nope. We met
Got it.
and we met on the app that geotagged us living close to each other. And yeah, that was
And it was all, see, these apps, they work, man. You wouldn't like, you don't, they work.
it's crazy.
Like
It's,
I'm so old school. I'm like, I would need to be sitting next to someone in a bar and like bat my eyes and think they're hot and feel attraction. But like nowadays, like you don't need that. Like these apps do it.
did Dolo get set up with Paul? Was it like an old school
Yes.
setup?
Yes. There was a mutual friend that was like an interior designer that they were both friends with, and they were like set them up on a date, and the rest is history.
That's very lucky. I don't know anybody that can meet like that anymore. I mean, I don't know how people do it these days. Like he and I met 7 years ago. So it's like I'm already like the way that he and I met, maybe it's outdated, maybe it's the way it happens nowadays. We've been so out of the game for so long that like I don't even know how to function as a single, or like how people do it. I
No,
mean,
I live vicariously through like my hair and makeup people because they seem to all be single. And they'll tell me, I'm like, how'd your date go? She like, this guy's a freak. I get so into it. I want to hear every single detail and like what they ate, because like I feel like I got married so young that I'm like, I don't know if I ever really dated as an adult. Like I'm an adult now, right? But like as 25, yeah, you're an adult, but not, So I'm like, I don't even know how I would like handle someone taking me out to dinner, or what I would be interested in hearing about right now as a 40-year-old, right? It's
yeah,
like,
you're
I don't
25,
know.
25 is a baby. I was far from being responsible. I would just sell a house and go to a party. And that was the only thing I was in
Sell a
charge.
house, take the money, go to the party. That's
That's
it.
it. Yeah. But
Makes sense.
if I don't see you before, if I don't get to have dinner with you and Joe, and hopefully he won't hold the squash that beef against me because it was bullshit anyway. And I think I was just being a good sport to even own it.
Right, right.
But yeah, like if I don't see you this summer, or hopefully at any time that you come to LA, we're going to keep in touch. This episode comes out on Monday in a couple of days, God willing, assuming that we recorded.
No, I think you're recording because I see the little word record up top. So I think we're doing good. No, but we should definitely we'll have a BravoCon moment for sure. I'm sure we'll all be at the same hotel or whatever. I'm sure it'll be there. We'll all be there. So we'll do something. We're definitely gonna have drinks, dinner during BravoCon for sure,
Yes.
if not before.
Well, I'm gonna think about you tonight when I have my grown-up girls' night out. I'm gonna be
Oh,
like,
I'm so jealous. Have so much fun. Cinco de Mayo girls' night.
Cinco de Mayo girls' night. But what? Oh, wait. So if I see you, I want to see you in New York. BravoCon is not in New York, and it's not until November.
I know
So
it's a long time away.
just wanted to clarify that.
But when you come to New York, text me. Let me know you're in the area because I'm in New York constantly. New York, New Jersey. It's like right here. So you just text me, and if I'm around, we'll meet. We'll have dinner, and we'll make the men
Are you
come
coming
with.
to LA ever? Do you have any
Do
business,
I?
do you have any business out in LA ever? If it's not
I
Bravo.
mean, so I used to work with a couple companies that would fly me out every 3 months to LA. But
Okay.
lately, I don't work with them anymore. So lately, not as much. I feel like Bravo used to send me out there to do some commercials and promo shoots and things like that.
Oh my God. You
But
had
the last time,
FabFitFun. You had a full-on television commercial with FabFitFun. You got
yes,
a lot of really good play. Like whenever I would see the amount of ads that I was like, good for her. That
thank
might
you.
be that might be why people might have become very envious,
Yeah,
because
I've done well with that platform, I would say. I've done a lot of big names and a lot of big things
yeah.
for the advertising and stuff like that. So I would say that was one of the best things that have come out of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I've worked with amazing brands, and I still do work with some really good brands. But thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. The new cast, do you love them? Do you like them?
Yes, I do think they fit really well with our show. I mean, I like some more than others. I know one better than I know the other one. The one that's a part-time, Jen Fessler, she's hysterical. I think she's awesome for the show.
Boobs
Um,
out dinner?
Here's the thing with new girls, and I think everyone would contest to this. You don't really get to know them until their second season, right? Because I feel like when you first meet them, you're getting very surfaced. First of all, they're all fans of the show when they first come on. And Teresa and I have been in the game for a really long time. So, and I'm not discounting that, but that's what it is. There's no one in Jersey who hasn't seen the show yet, right? So they know what they're stepping into. So it's kind of like that first season, they need to get their feet wet a little bit. Bravo rolls them out slowly, lets you just learn who they are, where they come from, what their kids' names are. They don't get that down and dirty in
Yeah.
the beginning. So I always get more excited to see who they are season 2.
Yeah, because they basically get with my show, they would always get a really good first season cut. Like they would be put up on a pedestal, and then, the more
Bravo,
awards come.
I would say they want them to come in more liked so that you're not ew, hate
Yeah.
these new girls, get them out of here. They want you to kind of connect. And then their second season, it's here you go, girls, show us who you really are.
Exactly.
Yes, I love a random MJ IG message. I love it. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
I will. But I've been struggling myself with keeping weight off. I was gonna tell you in the top of our conversation, after the whole pregnancy thing, and I had put on the weight, then I found something that I really, 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 really like doing. That is the F45 class. I'm not paid to take F45. I don't own a stake in the company. I wish I did, but it's 45 minutes. That's so fast. I used to spend so much time working out and not getting results. But so working out makes me feel incredible. Then yeah, but then, I've been maintaining it for a very, very long time. And 99% of the people out there see my weight loss and assume that it's because I'm taking something, whatever. And I'm at the end of the day, I was like, how does somebody like Melissa do it? Because you've sustained your body and your fitness and everything for all these years.
Um, for me, I've always said it's a lifestyle for me too. It's really my choices. I mean, I'm not gonna say I eat healthy all the time. I do eat bread, I eat things. It's huge portion control for me, right? I'm not gonna not blame it a little bit on my genetics because that wouldn't be fair, right? Because I've always been lean, I will say. There was times where I did eat more, and I remember it was right before I met Joe, and for me, I was about 10 pounds heavier right before I met Joe. And for me, 10 pounds, you can see the 10 pounds. And my jean sizes were 2 sizes bigger than they are right now. And it was because I was drinking soda at that time. I was eating fast food. And it was like college years. So the truth is, food really has a lot to do with it. And, you can't just, for me, exercise, you have to know, you can't just say, okay, I went and exercised, and like it could be anything. You have to learn like where your body needs to be targeted, right? So if you're flabby, you should be doing weights. If
Right.
you need to, like, there's a certain thing for everyone. We don't all have the same body type. Like, I can't go to the gym and jump on a treadmill for 45 minutes. That's not good for my body type. It's not. It would make me flabby. It would make me way too thin. It would give me no, I'd have a little boy body. Like, it would do nothing for me. So like, I know what I have to do, and I target that. Like, for my 45-minute workouts, I do a lot of lifting. I do a lot of weights. I do a lot of toning, so that I like that little pop out on my leg, whatever that's called. What's that muscle?
Okay,
Like,
where
I
on your leg
target,
is it? Where on your
yeah,
leg
like
is
you're,
it?
I can't think right now.
Is
Straight,
it in your bottom or is it your quad on
like
the
right
top
above
and
your
side?
knee. What's that
That's your
muscle?
quad. That's your quadricep.
Yes, I like a good quad. So
Yeah,
I work my quad muscles out. Like, I target my workouts to
yeah,
make a certain thing. You know what I mean?
for sure.
So I feel like targeted workouts is a huge part of it, and portion control. Like, I do not, like, I'm not going to say at night I'm starving, right? So I'm not going to say I won't eat a snack, but like, I won't sit on the couch with a whole thing of cookies. I'll take 2 cookies and walk away from the cabinet. You know what I mean? And it's like, there was your 2 cookies, and then drink tea, drink chamomile, put a little honey,
Yeah.
get the frozen grapes, like, figure things out.
Yes.
During the day when I'm driving around, I pop gum in my mouth, like, a lot.
Me
I
too,
do.
me too, me
Like,
too.
I'm a big gum chewer. I'm like, I'm starving. I like,
Same,
instead of going through the drive-through, like, I'll pop gum, you
same.
know?
That's one of it's crazy that you say gum because Tommy was like, you went through that whole thing of gum. We got it from Costco. And I was like, babe, that's how I get through the day. Like, so that I can talk myself away. Cause like for me, it is a moment to moment struggle. Some days we're busy. We don't think about food. Other days we're around the house and I'm like, I want to crunch because like whatever. So
I
anyway,
got
I think it's amazing. It's good to know that you've got tips and tricks because we all kind of need to know like how are you doing it, how am I doing it? It's like
everybody wants a tip. I agree. I
yeah,
agree.
well, it was amazing to kiki with you. I
You too.
giving me your Friday afternoon, and I hope you have a great night, and I hope
Thank you. I love that I'm your first one without your hubby. See, we just had like a little girl time. I like it.
I know the girly girl time. Send my love to the family. We will be tuning into the remaining episodes of New Jersey, and we will be rooting for you guys to all have, love, strength, healing. I know you guys got to entertain us, but I'm gonna be, we're gonna be like just keeping our vibes as positive as possible so that you can have, a great summer and
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you. I love talking to you too. And definitely text me if you're in New York, and I will shoot you a text if I'm in LA for sure.
amazing. Talk soon.
Okay. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Have the best night with your girlfriends. I'm jealous.
You too, hon.
Okay. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Mwah.